girl, is an ad. I'm going to need you to get you some of this Just Move Energy supplement so you can have the energy to get your workouts done like I need to get mine done, girl. It is sometimes a struggle and you need a little extra. Plus the protein shakes. I don't have an appetite a lot of the time. Protein shakes really help me after the workout because I do not want to be on the massage table with my stomach growling because that's where I'm going after this, okay? So I get my protein shake done before, boom, I got both of them. I'm ready, okay? I'm getting old. My knees is a problem. Do you see me warming it up? Do you see me trying to stretch it out? That's 35 pounds. I'm squatting 35 pounds. I'm proud. You can get those gloves and other workout gear from TeamLASHAE.com. The link is down below in the description box, girl. Yes. Girl, I have to give it to myself. You look good, girl. You look good. Juvie. I just had to put him in here because he's cute. I'm on my way to the spa, girl. Piece of serenity. My homegirl does not want to be seen, but she does the best massages. I go to her at least once a week for this muscle situation, girl. And she also gave me this massage cream with CBD in it that really helps with my aches and my pain. So get you some. All of this. Get you some. 15% off with my Relax Me Bondi code. Okay, girl? Get it. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Not come on in. Not come. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know I'm weird. Whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. So let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video. Right?
What's going on, people? How y'all doing on this good Wednesday? Is that what today is, child? Lord, when I tell y'all, the days really be running together for me. How y'all doing? I hope everybody is having a good day. We're about to get into Black Ass Bravo, which starts off with Married to Medicine, girl. Now, before I get into it, I need for everybody to extend a hand of prayer, okay, over to Nola Reeds, okay, just because I want y'all to pray for her, okay? She having some health issues, and I want y'all to pray for friend while she is recovering, okay? First of all. Second of all, if anybody is looking for Love and Marriage Huntsville, it is a members only review. If you are a member of my website, if you are a member of my YouTube, if you are a member of my Patreon, you can find links to the episode on the forum and on the community pages for both Patreon and YouTube. Okay. I appreciate everybody for becoming members. It is greatly appreciated. Okay. Much needed in these days and times, child. So, with that being said, like up the video. Hold up, y'all. I thought I heard something. Child, one dog is outside and two of them are inside, just in separate corners. You know, I can't. Hi. Girl, I can't have all of the dogs together at the same time, all the time, child. It's too much going on. Big one might, eat somebody. The two little ones can't stop fighting. It's too much, girl. But hey, everybody, how y'all doing? Okay, so let's go ahead and get into Married to Medicine. Okay. The beginning of the episode, I had to watch it again because I wanted to get the feels from Anila and Kieran what was going on in the home with the robbery. Okay, because there are a lot of speculations. People are saying a lot of things. Okay, we're questioning if this was a setup by Toya and Eugene because they threw a party that day. And obviously people were coming into the gate, and they could have had some people come into the gate, okay, and go and vandalize and steal things from Anila's home. It's being thrown out there. I feel like Quad has even insinuated and said it. Child, Quad really don't like Toya because she got a lot to say. And I really want to understand why we have not seen confrontation happen between Quad and Toya when these are the two main people, like these are the two people that are like in it. Like I feel like we seem to see these beefs between Toya and Anila or Toya and Heavenly. But most of these slugs being thrown about Eugene saying that Toya was the worst thing he ever did with his life and all of that shit, It is absolutely giving. This is Quad saying shit to other people. And when Toya goes at other people, they use the information that Quad gave them against Toya. So I want to have the confrontation between Toya and Quad because I need to understand what is the issue. Like, it's Slick Shade, your Lil House. Girl, who cares what Toya has to say like that? You know what you can get for yourself, she can't get for herself by herself. So why even let her press you, Quad? But it feels like, it's going into the gutter. It's what it feels like. It's giving gutter, if you ask me. Now, I don't know what the hell going over there. And that, I don't know what's going over, what is going on over there. Child, get your words together. In Anila and Toya subdivision. But I need somebody to tell me what the fuck is going on. I hate that I cursed. Somebody tell me what's going on. Somebody explain it to me. Okay? Because I'm trying to understand. Now, when I was watching Anila and Kieran go through their home, her kids seemed honestly bothered. Kieran seemed bothered. Anila seemed like she was just upset at, all of her things being gone. I don't know if I feel like it was fake because there's some insinuation that the robbery wasn't real or that they put 20 on 10. There's a lot of insinuation around this robbery. And I don't like to play about shit like that because essentially people are getting robbed more so now than they have in the past. People are busting in the door, waving the 4-4 and snatching all your valuables, hide your wives, hide your kids, like it's happening. And so I don't think it's something that should be played about or joked about. And the way Toya and Eugene had a smirk and the insinuation that maybe Anila is a liar and all of this shit, it's just real muddy. And I feel like nobody is really a victim in this situation except for Anila and Kieran and their household getting robbed. Okay? So let's go ahead and see what's going on in these comments before I delve deeper into the situation. But it's not making sense. I need for it to make sense. I don't know what is going on in Married to Medicine, but Married to Medicine got a lot of real issues going on. This ain't just messy shit now. Okay? Someone said her house got robbed again recently. Are you serious? The kids seem by. We need to get Anila on the line. We need to get Anila on the line. Okay? We need to get Anila on the line, girl. Hold up. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I had to DM her. I had to DM her because I need to understand what's going on over there, girl. I don't think it was a setup. Atlanta is a booster scammer robbery headquarters. It could have been security, lawn care movers, anyone. That's what I've been saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be somebody down to the city. You just never know. She got robbed again. Not too damn. Anila is a liar. Even Dr. Heavenly said Anila didn't get that stuff from blogging. Then where'd she get it from? If she didn't get her stuff from blogging, does that mean that she paid for it? Is that the lie? Because it's different. Like, that's a different type of lie. Everybody lies. Everybody lies. Everybody lies. So does that mean somebody would lie about their house being robbed? Like, that's a little extravagant. What are we saying? Heavenly said she got robbed again recently. Anila had no tears. I don't need people to have tears in order, like, no, like, I'm not going to police her emotions in that way. I get what y'all are saying, Because there are certain times when people are absolutely full of shit. But in this moment, I don't feel like we can like police her emotions because the robbery happened and then they left for a little while, then they came back. So we don't know what her emotions were like the first few hours, days after that happened. You know what I'm saying? We're catching her after the fact with cameras in front of her. I feel like she seems obviously shaken, as anybody would be if their home was broken into. ABS, she not a scammer per se, but scammer ways in the sneakiness with her money and the brokenness she's hiding. Ooh, Ray Bay, that was true. I think the leak is Bravo production. Whew. That would be something. That would be something. Okay. That means we need to do the background checks, girl. What's going on? Child, Anila was mad about the jewelry and the jewelry only. I mean, what else she was supposed to be mad about? Clothes? I think Toya knew about it and the party was her alibi. I was looking at Toya dry snitching on herself. She could have been dumb. She could have been numb and somewhat in shock. I was very matter of fact when my car was stolen. I didn't cry until I saw it in the tow yard. I've been through various moments where my emotions stalled. So, like I didn't cry when my dad was in the hospital bed dying. I cried after. I didn't cry then though. So I feel like, I don't police people's emotions in that way because you never know how people respond and what their emotions are going to come out like. Like that's too much. That's too close. Okay, I need to see you projecting emotion in order for me to try to like why diet a witness. You know what I'm saying about your emotion, and if it's fake, fugazi, or given manipulation. But I need to see the actual projection of it, and I didn't see like a projection of emotion. More so of a like even in the confessional, she was just like this shit was like fucked up. Like it was just very matter of fact to me. The liar comment was in reference to the Christmas party shenanigans. Yes. I'm aware that she meant that, oh, she's a liar from what was said, but it almost seemed like Toya was saying that because she's a liar, this happened to her. Like maybe if she didn't lie so much, this wouldn't have happened to her. That is how I took what Toya said. Like, I'm going to just say, Toya Eugene definitely leaned towards the accusations. In my opinion, the wedding ring has sentimental value. Why don't none of the cast do interviews? I don't know. We've interviewed Anila before. We've interviewed Dr. Heavenly. We just us personally haven't reached out to any of the other ladies. But it doesn't mean that we won't. Anila didn't have her cameras hooked. See, I wanted to interview Contessa, but I don't feel to be honest, like sometimes what I have learned is that some people, when they interview, don't answer questions. And it's a waste of time. So sometimes I feel like based off the way a person talks about certain issues around the show, it lets me know whether I feel like they're going to be open and honest in conversation. And if I feel like they're not going to be open and honest in conversation, then it's a waste of time. Anila didn't have her cameras hooked up. She said they were in the middle of construction. Could it have been the people doing the work for them? They would access and know their schedules. Child, I don't have any sympathy for people I don't fuck with, so I can't blame Toya and Eugene for not caring. Well, there's that. I don't know if I feel like it should have been. I don't know, y'all. I feel like there are certain things that I wouldn't wish on people, especially not over no little shit. Not to say that them insinuating that she's cheating on Eugene is little shit, but what I mean is like some things are so fucked up that I don't want anybody to kind of go through that feeling unless they've done something very fucked up to me. And I don't know. I just feel like it wasn't about them not having sympathy as much as it was like insinuating that they deserved it. Like it was just something about the way they insinuated that Anila being a liar was a cause for why they got robbed. Not really about having as much sympathy. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, I don't think I was looking for that necessarily either. But I was surprised at the way Eugene responded too. I love that Dr. Jackie is far from the mess. Child, she ain't that far. If they got more evidence other than Toya threw a party, then maybe. But the common thread right now seems to be Bravo production. Okay. Yes, her house was robbed again recently. That is terrible. I think Anila is lying. Wouldn't be the first housewife to stage a robbery. See Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Yes, this is true. But my question is, why is it that y'all question if Anila's robbery was real, but y'all don't question if Marlo's robbery was real. Like, I'm, and then to be robbed twice. I don't know. Why I thought you were about to hit her up for like call her on the phone. Child, I don't have a number. I think Anila will do. Yeah, we've interviewed her before. I believe that they was really robbed, and I believe the party was a way for someone to get into the gates. I really do. Contractor workers do be stealing. It's more common than we think, or they let somebody know their cameras were down. True. But that would be stupid for Toya to have someone to rob her house while she's having a party. Think about it. They are trying to set Toya up. Child, Toya is helping them. Toya is helping them set her up, if that's the case. Okay, with the vibrator run. We hear you, Andy. Wait, what? What's going on? Jackie hides her hands. I'm about to tell you, Toya was absolutely reaching when she insinuated that Anila was lying about the break-in. How would Heavenly know? Anila and Heavenly are friends. I was just about to say, where did you get it from then? Child. All right, y'all. I've been reading enough comments, and y'all are commenting. It's 480 of y'all in the room. Make sure that y'all are sharing and liking the video up. Wait, this is my first season watching. Y'all saying Contessa is like Drew. I don't know if Contessa like Drew. Like, I almost feel like Drew is low-key a little bit more likable this season than Contessa has been, if you ask me. Contessa, I feel like, has been trying desperately to make herself out to be a victim this season. And it's obnoxious. Like, that's what I'll give it. It's very, very obnoxious. But it's definitely given she won't be honest about anything. So what's the point in having a conversation? Contessa is like Destiny. Bow. There you go. There you go. That's what it's giving. Oh, thank y'all. I actually feel like, girl, the old girl came down today, so I'm not feeling my best. Okay, but I just was like, we're gonna get up here and talk about this. I don't really care how I look. But I'm glad that y'all like, what I come to with y'all. Okay. All right. All right, now, Kristen, don't be in here doing the most now. You heard what I told you in them DMs now. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the actual episode, because I feel like we talked about, I just had to get that off my chest. Sometimes we just got to talk about what's been going on, and then we can get into the specifics of the situation. Okay. Why don't anyone ask where Quad get her money? Because all Quad's money has really come in after the divorce, and Quad seems to have invested adequately. Quad also has had jobs. Quad has worked. Quad also works on Married to Medicine. So it's giving, probably has had enough money running through her hands that if smart enough to take care of it appropriately, it makes sense for her to be doing as good as she's doing, to me. I don't know whatever businesses that that Quad may have besides her little cute doggy clothes business that I remember she was trying to do. Outside of that, I don't know what she does for a living besides being on reality TV and when she had her job on Sister Circle. But I imagine that with Quad having the friends and the effect, the influence that she has, she probably makes money through social media like a lot of people do. That's what I mean, monetize the fuck out of Instagram. Okay, girl, I'm trying, but they stay, telling me I say shit wrong because they don't understand the context of how I speak, which is annoying. Sometimes I just be like, girl, ooh, I need to create a private like Instagram that's just for people that really know me. And then a BondyBlue one, like the one I have right now, and just kind of let, switch over to create like a close friends group in BondyBlue and be like, hey, follow me over here because I need to create separation. Okay. Because they don't want to let me be great. But investments, that's definitely what it seems that she had going on. She had a cookbook. I thought she was also a pharmaceutical representative. Okay, I did not know that. Did y'all notice Quad had on scrubs? I was wondering if she was in medical sales as well. I was shocked to find out those rich horse racers are unaliving horses for insurance. While that's really disgusting, where did that come from? That was random. Quad is a hustler. Yeah, she was wearing scrubs. Okay, I do see the hustle that Quad has. So she probably selling scrubs. The girls sell scrubs and make a lot of money. That's what I see online. But I can never really believe the things that people say, when they be telling me, oh, come and get my master class so I can teach you how to make all this money doing this very mundane thing. And I just kind of be like, I don't trust you. Because sometimes it feels like you didn't make all that money doing that. You made all that money off telling me that you know how to teach me how to do it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so Toya and Eugene are helping their son throw a barbecue, like a little dinner party for his birthday. It was very, very cute. He wanted to cook with his friends, so they got steaks and stuff, and he helped his dad cook. I thought that was super cute. I love that. I love the fact that Eugene spends time with his son, his sons in the kitchen cooking. You know what I'm saying? I love that. My daddy was a cook, and I be sad to this day because nobody made ribs like my daddy. Like, there was a lot of things my daddy used to make that is just kind of like, you really couldn't take better care of yourself. Like, you just be mad at people for dying because nobody cooks like them. Like, I know you had to go and everything, but this is like really upsetting. It's upsetting to me and my mom. We have to cook for ourselves now. But child, it just makes me think about my daddy with that. But I loved it. I love to see it. Eugene looked a little smaller too. I was like, well, all right, come on, Eugene. Simone and Cecil talked to Omarosa about their book. They aren't discussing why they were going to divorce in the book. And it's like, how are you going to sell folks a book about your relationship if you don't want to talk about the biggest part of it, which is when you almost got a divorce? And they don't want to talk about it because it's going to bring the feelings back up. Omarosa says she worried this might tear their relationship apart. She don't know how to feel. Ash's dinner party is super cute. Quad and Jackie go to support Heavenly when her mom passed away. Condolences to Dr. Heavenly, because that is extremely difficult to deal with, especially when she talks about the relationship she had with her mother. Which honestly, I feel like I'm confused about. And this is something that people do when a parent dies. All of a sudden, it was the best relationship ever, versus when the asses was alive. And you tell us, how she, had you in a closet with no windows and wouldn't let you go outside and pray and play with your friends and shit, and probably low key, help foster the relationship between you and your sister. I'm gonna let it go, child. But something about the way she, was talking about her mom, since her mom has been sick and since then passing, it just kind of felt like when people sugar over a person's legacy because they're now gone. But it's something about the cognitive dissonance with Heavenly that I feel like is a pattern. You know what I'm saying? Like her being bluntly honest, but at the same time ignoring the honesty of a situation is very, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. It's very weird to me sometimes. The opposition, the duality. And as a Black woman living in America, I understand duality. But the way Heavenly exists in two opposite type situations all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's the old school thought of process of protection, just like Ralph. Nobody buying that book. I feel you, Bondi. I was confused with Heavenly. Okay, so it's not. I thought that was right. Okay, so I'm not the only one that kind of was like, wait a minute. I thought y'all relationship really wasn't that good because how your childhood was, and then recently the way she's been talking about it. Oh, me and my mom had the best relationship ever, and I was just kind of like, Heavenly's doing that thing again. You know what I'm saying? Heavenly's doing that thing again, where she can be bluntly honest about everything, except for when it comes to something personal to her. She can't call a thing when it's something personal to her. Which I don't begrudge her, because everything ain't for everybody's consumption. So her feelings about her mom, we aren't really owed that. But, as making observation, I just noticed that she does that. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's just a very strong, like, cognitive dissonance there to just constantly be presenting two opposing versions of yourself to us at, all times. Just always two different versions of us. I swear to God, Heavenly might as well be a motherfucking Gemini. Okay. Okay. My grandma has done the same thing with her mother. The church has a strong hold on them. Maybe childhood and young adulthood was hard for them, but things may have gotten better as they both aged. I would like to hope so. But it wasn't as if we saw that. You know what I'm saying? We really just saw Heavenly going back to Miami and showing us kind of how, honestly, like abusive her childhood seemed to me. Very dark. And lonely is how I perceived a lot of the things Heavenly said. That honestly, that never left me. The scene where her, Dr. Jackie, and Dr. Simone go, and she talks about how her bedroom wasn't even the bedroom that's there, but like this little closet room with no windows. And her mom made her stay inside all the time while her sister got to go out into the world and be popular and be pretty and have a good time. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, their lives might be different now. So I feel like Heavenly may see what her mom did to her benefit. But at the same time, I think it created just a lot of insecurity and a lot of dark space in Heavenly. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something that I wish she would unpack. Heavenly opened the gate when she took them back to Miami. Agree. She pushes down her pain. Yes, and it reminds me of the way she likes to laugh at things. A lot of people, if y'all know that, a lot of women, Tammy reminded me of that. Like women who have been through such fucked up things in their lives that the only thing that the response is to become hardened in some respect and then to laugh at the things, even though we know it's not funny and it's not to make light, but the response is to laugh about it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, girl, it reminded me of something Tammy said in the interview. It reminded me something that the girl from I hate that I can never say her name right, even though I heard them say it the whole movie, on the Woman King movie. My favorite one that died. Okay, like okay, look, I had to follow her on Instagram. When she was talking about her childhood, and it was like, you laugh. You know what I'm saying? Even though you want to cry. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yes, laughter is a defense mechanism. Yes, all of that, y'all. All of that. Yes. You know what I'm saying? It definitely feels like therapy. You know what I'm saying? Like get some help to unpack that in a real way so you can release it. You know what I mean? It feels like a lot of things held inside. And then whenever somebody tries to like take a crack at it a little bit, it's, you know what I'm saying? Nah, get off me. Let me hold on to this shit. Yes, Lashana Lynch. Yes. A lot of us have not seen the movie yet, Bondy. Okay, well, that's not my fault. The movie been out for 2 weeks. Okay, like it'd be different if it came out this weekend, girl. I've seen it twice already. Okay, I didn't give y'all a name, but y'all know people gonna die in that movie, right? Since it was set in 1823. Just be prepared for everybody in that movie to at some point die. Okay. Okay. Not in the UK. I don't know what you want me to do. I hate when y'all do that to me. Like, I hate when y'all do that to me. Like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. The movie has been out here for 2 weeks. I've seen it twice. Y'all got to get over it. You're going to get spoilers sometimes when shit come out ahead of time. I'm so sorry. You still should see the movie. It didn't ruin it for you, I promise. I'm not like that. I'm one of them people that you can tell me everything that happened in the movie, and I'm still gonna sit down and watch the shit like ain't nobody ever told me. I didn't say who died. Did y'all really think nobody was gonna die in this war movie? I ain't even say her name. Leave me alone, okay? Shit. Heavenly said she was a nerdy girl and her sister was a popular girl. I just don't understand how they were treated differently unless there was a big age difference and the mom overcorrected with sis. That's probably what it was. I don't think it was a large age difference. Okay? I don't think it was a large age difference. I just think that her mom handled Heavenly differently. And people do that all the time. Everybody from the 1800s are dead. Like, exactly. So just know everybody in this movie that's depicted in this movie is dead at this point. Okay. I might give y'all a movie review at some point. I think they're only 3 years apart. Yeah, I don't think it's that. Yeah, me too. I like a few spoilers. It helps my anxiety. Me too. Yeah, I like knowing the ending. Yeah, I need because I can't. I'm sorry. I can't go through the stress. I wish somebody would have told me what happened at the end of the fucking jazz player. That shit. The jazz player blues, the jazz man blues. I wish somebody would have told me what. I would. Viola is not going to die. Even though, yes, she is going to die. Like I keep telling y'all, this movie is set in the 1800s. It is 2022. Everybody in this movie is dead. Everybody that's depicted in this movie is no longer here. Okay? Okay? It is a movie set in slavery. But no, Viola is not going to die. Take some anxiety off your chest. Okay? But yeah, I wish somebody would have told me the Jazz Man's Blues ending, so I wouldn't have watched it. Because I wouldn't have watched it. Why y'all got me talking about everything but Married to Medicine? Stop it. Bitch. Ooh. Ooh, this nap about to make me. Oh, Lord. We need to switch gears. Because I feel like I'm not talking about this show no more. Let me answer this question for you. This is why. Because people come in here with off subject, Bondy. Like the fuck? That's why. Shit. Okay? Anyway, honestly, I had to watch Married to Medicine so many times because the shit was boring to me. Forgive me. Let me do this. Okay? All right. So we was talking about Heavenly's mom. We was talking about Heavenly for a minute. Okay, so it wasn't like we completely drifted off. Okay. A medium, a spiritualist said that Heavenly Mama dancing in heaven, child. And you best to believe her. Jackie is throwing a vaccine. Thank you, party at her house. It's cold, but the party is outside anyway. Anila isn't there. They FaceTime her. Anila feels she was targeted. Contessa says Anila is a bit delusional. Contessa, how is she delusional? How is she delusional? Like, her house was targeted. Like, whether y'all want to admit it or not, in order for somebody to come to her house and ransack it, it means that she was targeted because somebody saw her house and was like, oh, we're going to go and bust that shit down. That's a target. Hello. Okay. So I don't know why Contessa said Anila was delusional, but it was just kind of like, really, Contessa, you want to call somebody delusional, Miss Ma'am? All right. Toya says that she had a party the same night. Toya says maybe Anila is a liar. Quai said you a liar too. Toya says Quai lied on her family. Quai said I don't care enough about your family to lie on them. And Toya says that's not what Heavenly said. Heavenly said leave me the fuck out of it. My mama just died. Kiss my ass and climb a tree. And she tried to walk out dramatically, but then couldn't figure out how to open the door. She goes to get Damon, and then she screams that she ain't got no problems because her husband dick is big. I don't need to do that. So that was shade towards Eugene and Toya. And this is what I'm saying. Don't sit up there and feel bad for Eugene when you throw it in his face that your husband's dick is big. Because trust and believe Eugene knew what the fuck you was saying when you said that shit. He just not going to say nothing back the way he should. Or the way a lesser nigga would. Or the way he really wanted to. They probably want to say a lot of shit to you and choose not to just because they have respect for Damon. But you didn't have to do that to Eugene, especially when you always bucking on his behalf, Dr. Heavenly. You did not have to throw that out there. I know you meant that towards Toya, but Toya's ass was inside and Eugene was outside, and you screamed that towards Eugene that your husband's dick was big, so you didn't need to do that. You know you was wrong. Toya says y'all trying to fuck up my marriage, so I have no sympathy. Okay? And hey, I don't begrudge Toya that. Contessa comes running to hug Heavenly. She understands I lost my mom too, and I understand what it's like. Contessa, I would rather you be like Toya. I would rather you be like Toya. But I can't stand when a motherfucker that ain't cared about your feelings, then cared about you in no type of way, always trying to make you out to seem like a villain, gonna come and try to be supportive. Bitch, I'm a villain, remember? I'm a bad person, remember? I'm somebody that you allowed in, and I fucked up your whole shit, remember? Don't come and support me now. Because it's coming off like you doing it because you want the brownie points for it, because you want to look like a good person. That's what it feel like. It feel disingenuous, Contessa. It didn't feel genuine. It didn't. Even when you was talking about praying for her mama after you had just sat there dragging her fucking ass. No, keep it. Keep it. Find another way. Find another way to say, you know what? I'm going to let it go there. She going through something. I understand. I'm going to let it go. Okay? But do not force these disingenuous moments where you pretend to be a better person than you really are in the moment. Okay? Because that's what it felt like for me. I could be wrong. But based off the way you talked about her and cursed her out online, I don't think so. Okay? Let's see. Contessa, Toya and Simone talk amongst themselves about how Toya doesn't feel supported in this group. Toya is looking for support and she's not getting it. And I just kind of feel like, even though I understand Toya, like I understand what you mean when you say you're looking for support and you're not getting it from this group, but I want you to recognize that you ain't nice to none of these hoes, except for Simone. You're not nice to none of these hoes. I don't know if you recall. Toya, but you're not nice to none of these hoes. At one point or another, you're going to say something slick. You're going to say something smart. You're going to run up out your mouth. So when you're looking for support, I'm wondering, do you feel like you give it at all? Because I don't feel like you give support to anybody. And honestly, I feel like most people's relationships with Toya are predicated on their dislike for someone else. Contessa's relationship with Toya is because you beefing with Heavenly. Even Simone. I haven't been watching in a long time, but to me, since when did Simone and Toya get so fucking close? Especially when it used to be Simone, Jackie, and Heavenly. Now, I know Heavenly has always been a headache to everybody. But ultimately, Simone, Heavenly, and Jackie were supposed to be like, the three golden girls or whatever. All right? And now all of a sudden, Toya and Simone, oh, this is my friend, and I'm mad because you talking about her. And it's like, with Simone, didn't you used to have the same attitude towards Toya? And her lack of education, her lack of doctorate? Child, I don't know. Yes, Toya gives vibes that she doesn't like anyone in the show. Simone is the one who running around telling her business for real. Contessa's on my last nerve. Her victim playing is killing me. Girl. Yeah, Toya really is not nice to anybody. So why would they be on her team? Like, I want somebody to make it make sense. Maybe it's the military mentality that Contessa has that is causing a disconnect. Yeah, very, very but then can use emotion to manipulate people. Like bringing her daughter into a situation so that she can, make herself out to be like more of a victim. Like, look what you're doing to my daughter. Like, bitch, what? I'm still not over Heavenly saying she brought the baby out on us. I'm still not over that. I don't see how any of them can be in the same room, not friends at all. Contessa and Toya are one in the same, putting their marriage issues out there and then cry when they have been reminded of what each has said. Toya gets what she gives, period. Toya is a surface level friend. She doesn't give. She really care about you. No, she don't. Didn't Heavenly say Contessa was interviewing? I think she's bitter and under a lot of financial pressure. Oh, Lord. It's crazy how back in the day, Contessa and Toya were so beefed out. Now they besties. Exactly. And that wasn't even that far back in the day. Wasn't that last season? Toya actually brought Contessa on as a friend, and then Contessa flipped on her. That's fine. That's fine. But what I'm saying is last season, they was fit in a fight, girl. And this season, everybody going over to their house and chilling and shit. And I need for it to make sense. They bonded over that YouTube bullshit. Yeah. Over there, united hate for Heavenly. Toya and Simone clicked up with Mariah when they had beef with Heavenly. Gotcha. Toya seemed like a little drunk talking to Simone. She probably was. Thank you. Contessa couldn't stand Toya last season at all. I would say that's the thing with Contessa. She's only hanging with Toya because of the common disdain for Heavenly. That's what it felt like to me. I agree about Heavenly. I was thinking the same thing. Like we did. Like, did we miss something? Like, girl, it's crazy. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and move on. That's it. That's all. We're going on to Real Housewives, girl. Sorry for the delay. Okay, hold up. Before we go on to Real Housewives of Atlanta. So let me see. All right. Give me a sec. Wow. Okay. So absolutely Quad had this to say. I felt like it was only right to fill Anila in. Actually, in our everyday lives, every person who calls themselves a friend does just that. Update their friends. I'm really not with being fake towards one another or misinformed when it comes to what's said during the filming of episodes. Lies are told everywhere, but when you get to reunion, it's mum's the word. Quiet as a church mice. Okay, I'm sure she meant quiet as a church mouse and not quite as church mice. I never knew it would be so hard for older women to take accountability. Ooh, shade. Own and apologize for what they've said. I certainly don't have a problem with doing it. I'm straightforward. I voice my intent, apologize when wrong, and present big facts as I sit back and watch. Some try to poke holes in the Teflon truth, and others sit quietly with egg dripping from their faces. However, our viewers will see through all of it as facts. Always offers clarity and dispels lies. Period. Continue watching. Okay, so this is what she's talking about.
Simone, really Contessa. She was definitely interrogating me on the FaceTime.
I thought you guys had cameras. You don't have security. Did the cameras catch anything? The guards don't have video of people coming in and out? They took your wedding ring? That's literally crazy.
You could say the smallest little thing Tessa was on and just breaking it down. Simone was over there laughing.
She was laughing?
Oh, girl, that's messy. That must be next week's episode, girl. That's real messy. What did Neela do to y'all? I feel like Anila ain't even do nothing to y'all. This shit was boring. I feel like the episode was boring. That's why I wasn't paying attention. But Real Housewives of Atlanta ain't give us much better. But we about to get into it any old way. Any old way, girl. So, Anthony is a liar. Anthony is a liar. He just wants attention. Okay? He just wants to be on television. And we knew that because of the way he responded when he, met Candy. Ooh, Miss Money Making Candy Burris. So whatever the fuck he said, child, I don't know. Okay? Y'all seen Candy do her little ad for her sex toys and stuff? I'm looking for an excuse. Okay. So Anthony is a liar. Drew and Sheree are going back and forth. I'm bored of it. Drew usually says things that end up falling flat in some respect. Okay, we missed it. And Sheree does a lot of hemming and hawing like Martell. Marlo says someone DM'd her about not paying. Drew says it's not true. People want to send me sex tapes of you. People want to send me cash. Girl, what? Girl, what? None of this makes sense. I don't care. Sheree says do it because I want to see it. I want to see the sex tape of Sheree too. I also want us to talk about how Sheree never graduated from middle school, high school, or none of the above. I need us to have more story. I heard they invited everybody back and they bringing somebody else on as well. The thing about this that annoys me is I feel like y'all gonna bring Sheree back and she's still not going to give us anything. She's still not going to give us anything. Sheree has been on this is her 15th season coming up on Real Housewives of Atlanta. She has been on this show on and off since season 1. Can someone please explain to me why we don't know more backstory? Why we don't know more specifics about Sheree? Y'all keep bringing her back on this show for her to eat chips in her fucking pajamas, walking around her house, bored out of her mind, crying about it. She knew she wasn't really about to be with. It's all a scam. It's all a scam. Her real life, actually entertaining, actually something we did not know, and we hear nothing of it. We hear nothing of it. It makes no sense. Like, I don't know why y'all keep bringing her back. So we can get clothes y'all can't buy? Overpriced clothes that y'all can't buy? Because y'all can buy them, but will they get delivered? Will you ever get a package? Will Martell ever send out his wines? Girl. Andy asked Sheree if it's hypocritical if she says Candy shouldn't get upset when people call her a hoe because she's heard it before. Yet Sheree is always getting upset when people say she doesn't pay her bills, and she's heard that shit before. Drew says, but it is true. You agreed to pay 50% of the party and you still haven't even given me the money on the $30 cake, bitch. Sheree says it's not her fault that Drew went overboard. You'll say anything to get out of paying somebody, won't you? Fatum went too far doing a background check. I feel like everything Fatum did was for Sheree. I think Sheree wanted to throw rocks and hide her hand. I think she wanted to be a retired bone carrier. I do. I think that Fatum was there to do the things that Sheree wanted her to do. I think Sheree was going to let her do all of the digging and all of that. And then she was going to act like, oh, no, I didn't tell you to do that. She be quiet. You know, that's what it was giving to me. That's what it was giving to me. Okay. Sheree tweeted Drew steals props from movie sets when they tell her she didn't get the role. And Sonya was like, oh my God, we laughed so hard about that. And I'm like, was it really that funny? Was it really that funny? Was that funny? I don't know, y'all. Maybe my sense of humor isn't on like it normally is. But the way Sonya, oh, that was so funny. Sonya, shut up. That's how I feel. Sonya, shut up. The joke didn't even make sense. This is one of the times that Drew was absolutely right about something not making sense. How would she be able to get a prop if she didn't get the part? Only people who get the part come into contact with the props. Even the props they give you during auditions aren't the same as the props you're going to get on scene at a movie or at a TV show. It's not going to be the same. Nobody ever auditions the same place that it happens. Not in film and television. So it just felt like, first of all, it doesn't make sense. Second of all, it's stupid. Third of all, Sonya, you laughing too hard. It's given I just want to make Drew feel bad so very desperately. The husbands come out and they hang out a lot now. Okay. Let me say this. A lot of y'all want to fuck that lady husband. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna need to sit and look at him for a second so I can see if I get that feel too. Because even though I do love me a beautifully dark complected man with nice teeth and muscle, muscle tone, and who know how to dress and who is mild mannered but could raise up on you, I love all of that. You know what I'm saying? I really, really do. But it's something about the way that folks thirst after Sonya's husband that I just kind of feel like, I don't know if it's that serious. He's a very nice looking man, but the way folks act, I'm like, it's not that serious. Like, that's just how I feel. Okay, that's just me. That's just how I feel. Like, I get it. I'm looking at pictures and video of the man right now. I get it. He's got beautiful teeth. I love the gray in his beard. Yes, he is nice looking. He has nice muscle tone to his body. But yes, no, still, calm the fuck down. Y'all doing the most. He nice looking, but it ain't like all of that to me. Like, not the way I be seeing people act. Like, ooh, love. Like, I just be like, is it all of that? I mean, they did the same thing about Ralph. It's the same thing about Ralph. They was all on Ralph Dick last season, and I was just kind of like, oh, is it that serious? Okay, listen. I'm waiting for my lady parts to tingle over seeing, somebody on Real Housewives of Atlanta besides the women. I'm waiting. Thank you so much, Lady T, for the first super chat of the day. Kim Pyre said Drew was on Dish Nation saying that Sheree took the clothes back after the show. Yeah, I know. I saw that. I saw that on the show. It's been all over social media, girl. We're gonna go to it when I'm done talking about the review. But yes, thank you for the super chat. Is anybody surprised that Sheree took all her clothes back? No, stunts and shows. Hello. Okay. Where was I in the notes? Okay, so yes, the husbands come out. They hang out a lot now. Ross and Ralph don't let Drew and Sonya's beef get in between them being friends. Of course not. Of course not. Sonya gets in between them. Hold on, I said that. They discuss Ross talking to his mom. Wait, hold on. They discuss Ross talking to. I don't know what my notes did here, y'all. My notes did something weird here. But yeah. Okay, no. Ross talked to his mom about how Sonya felt about them not wanting to have another child. Because they asked what changed. And he said that he talked to his mom and she explained to him Sonya's point of view. So now she's allowing him to be the son's father. And then he's allowing her to let the little boy be his baby, be the baby a little bit more. I don't know. It kind of felt like what he was saying was, I talked to my mom, so I needed to talk to my mom before I could understand where my wife was coming from, because I didn't have any sympathy for my wife until my mom told me I had to, or that I should. Because usually, sometimes with men, what I find is that they can only have sympathy for a woman when they view her through the eyes of their mother. And they sometimes have to be reminded that she is like their mother in some respect. So his mama had to have a conversation with him in order for him to sympathize with his wife, so that he can then go back to her and tell her that if she didn't want a baby, then they didn't have to have a baby. And now they've decided to have a baby, but only for a limited amount of time, which makes me feel like Sonya doesn't really want to have a baby, but she's going along with it. We always wanted to have Sonya, I feel like you'd be lying when you say that. Then we get into Ross jumping to protect his wife because he didn't appreciate what was going on. This part was very annoying to me because I feel like y'all pushed Kenya to backpedal and pussy pop on what she said, when essentially he did not need to stand up and tell everybody to stop fucking with his wife. I know everybody wants to go back and forth about that, but I do find it's unnecessary. And I bet moving forward, he'll stay out of the women's arguments when they're arguing, because this is Real Housewives of Atlanta and the women are going to argue. Sonya is literally getting paid for it. She's literally getting paid to argue back and forth. And the argument wasn't even that bad. And if you're going to jump in at the first sight of any confrontation between her and these other women, child, y'all are in for a whirlwind. Because as soon as Sonya gets into it for real, and I mean for real, in a real way, like we going back and forth for real, and it's bitch this and bitch that in each other's faces, and not just when you hang up the phone, Sonya. When stuff like that start to happen, when Kenya start to give Sonya that energy she want, are you going to be able to sit in your seat and let it happen the way everybody else seems to be able to do on this show? Because if you're not, it's gonna be an issue moving forward if you're not able to deal with Sonya being in confrontation without you coming to defend her. And Kenya was like, yeah, it was so great that, a man came to defend her. And it's like, Kenya, we know that you are male identified yourself. Like, she's trying to get out of it because of everything that happened with Mark. But what Kenya's relationship with Mark taught me that Kenya is very male identified her damn self. Okay. She may be, a little bit, not a little bit, ahead. She's ahead of people like Marlo and Sheree and all of that. But she is absolutely male identified in a way she views a woman having a man, meaning that she has more value. That's why it was so triggering to her for Sonya to keep saying that she needed to come on the trip with a partner, because it lends to the idea that Kenya no longer has the value she had when she belonged to that man, for lack of a better word. You know what I'm saying? And that's unfortunate, but that's how it is for a lot of women, I forgot we just finished having a conversation about how, it's like a woman doesn't have the same value unless some man is around. Some man is around, I was actually thinking about it as far as just in regular New Orleans life. A girl could, a woman could, they ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, right? Life fucked up, ain't got shit going on. As long as somebody married their ass, they feel like they got one up on somebody. Okay, they got one up on somebody. So I feel like Kenya did what she felt she should do, which is to backpedal and pussy pop, act like she wasn't really bothered anymore. Oh yeah, he should have done that. It's fine. It's okay. It's not a big deal. I don't think he would have done anything to me. He's really nice. We get it. But I'm also tired, you guys. I am tired of not being able to say that a man is aggressive because he's a black man, and we should be so scared of the way the world will perceive him when someone calls him aggressive. But then you can then turn around and say that, can you attack somebody verbally? That's fine. But God forbid we say that a black man was being aggressive, because then what? It's going to make it okay for police to kill him or something like that? Like, y'all got to stop doing that. Y'all got to stop doing that, because niggas out here are aggressive. They're raised and socialized to be aggressive. And what he did was slightly unnecessary. No, not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But I hate the fact that we can't call a thing because y'all so scared that the white man gonna come out the sky and do something to Ross because we called the nigga aggressive for standing up and raising himself up in the conversation ain't have nothing really to do with him. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay. I'm gonna call it how I see it. Okay. Stop acting like most black women don't find aggression attractive in the first fucking place, which is why so many of them, you wish your man did that. You wish your man did that. Because they want a man to be aggressive. The fuck? But when we call him aggressive, everybody's like, oh my God, don't call him aggressive. Someone might do something to him. Girl. Lady Lex, thank you for the super chat. Remember how Kenya acted on a boat with those boys? No, I don't. Thank you for the super chat, but I don't remember. Yeah, you can miss me with that. They will have a man pushing all up on them, but turn around and say, I don't want to put those labels on. Right. It's old as fuck. Truthfully, teach boys not to be aggressive versus girls not to piss them off, right? It was aggressive. He was the only one who stood up and cussed and raised his child. Somebody argued with me last week and said he didn't raise his voice. I said, child, I don't know what standing up and saying, stop fucking what my wife was supposed to give, but it gave a threat. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that he was threatening to do anything, but the context is leave my wife alone before I act out of character. Okay. Tammy nephew. Oh, yeah. He wasn't even doing nothing and it was acting like he was gonna do something. Yeah. Oh, it's escaping me barely, but I'm kind of sort of remembering. Hey, he didn't whisper, okay? Tammy's nephew, that dude was aggressive. It was aggressive and he had no business getting into women beef. I can't even really fully remember what happened then, y'all. I'm trying to remember it. But outside of that, y'all, I said what the fuck I said about this situation. So let's move on because I can't really fully remember the Tammy situation. A Tammy nephew situation. I remember he was there, he was acting away or something like that. He got into it. I'm just trying to remember. Hell, Kenya said herself she wanted a man to do the same. Yes, male identified, very much wanting a man to come and fight battles for you. But she also said on a reunion show she knows that would not be the best thing because it would be, it would be muddy for a man to get involved. Because look at the way y'all did Peter. Y'all call that man Patricia now because he got into arguments between women. Candy said he was aggressive too. Oh, I missed that part. New girl Tammy nephew was aggressive towards pregnant Candy. Kenya jumped in and made it explode. Okay, that nephew was wrong as fuck. He was okay. Because let's be honest, if they would not have left his wife alone, then what would he have done? Exactly. That's the context of what he was saying. Kenya was flirting with Tammy nephew. He wasn't giving her time of day she wanted, and then they pulled the he's aggressive card. See, there's a whole bunch of different stories going on, and I don't remember it. So let's drop it. We move on to Candy. Because Kenya and Ross talked about their situation on a plane the very next day. It's not a big deal. We're moving on from it. So we move on to Candy. Ross didn't know Ralph was vibrating Sanya's panties, but obviously it has caused no issues amongst them. Marlo feels every man cheats, but she does apologize to Todd for insinuating that he was cheating on Candy. Then they asked Sheree about her insinuations about Todd and what's being said on the streets and why should Candy have pause. And she was like, oh, I was just saying what I didn't really hear anything. I was just talking about what Marlo told me. So I was piggybacking up what Marlo said. Oh, Sheree, so it's Marlo's fault. Got you. They asked Todd how he feels. Todd doesn't really care. And I love Todd's energy. To me, the way Todd handles these things is the way a man is supposed to handle these things to me. I'm going to just keep it a buck. I love the beard. He looked really great. I'm glad he didn't have on white like the Pips did. They look good though. They did look good, but I love that he was different. His beard was impeccable. And I love Todd in this moment. Todd was saying everything that needed to be said. Even when they were talking to Drew, they were talking about how they were laughing about those text messages between Ralph and the masseuse and her, the assistant who was trying to massage him. They were laughing about it. Todd was actually calling a thing, to be honest. He was basically calling Ralph out for being full of shit, if you ask me. But they were laughing about it. So Andy asked, do y'all still think it was funny now that y'all heard Drew's side? And Ross was like, yeah, it was funny then and it's still kind of funny now. And Todd was like, nah, I'm not laughing. I feel however Drew feel, that's how I feel. And I said, thank you, Todd. Thank you, Todd. Okay. I love that. Okay. So they asked Todd if he wants Kayla to struggle. And he says, they're from the Bronx. She'll appreciate the struggle when she gets older, but she's doing very well right now. And then Candy explains about the trust situation, about not wanting Todd to get remarried because her great-grandmother died and her great-grandfather remarried. And then I guess his wife inherited what was, basically created in the first marriage. And so then she made it hard for his children and the people thereafter to get their just due. So I understand where Candy is coming from when it comes to that. And I agree that maybe he should not remarry unless everything is set in stone for the children. So if he does, because people do that where they have like the wife will get us, ahead of time prenup, you'll get this and all of this other shit that was there before you have no rights to whatsoever. Period. Point to the fucking blank. Okay, that can all be put in the paperwork. That can all be put, in the will and all of that. That shit can be, made to happen right now. So I feel like I understand where Candy is coming from, but I just need for Candy to make sure that she sets the kids up the way they need to be set up. And whatever Todd does, if you pass before him, girl, don't even worry about it. Just know you set shit up for your kids to be all right. And essentially, most of the kids are grown now. Like the two small ones. But I feel like we know Todd is a good father. He daddy daycare out this bitch. Okay. So I don't think it'll ever be a situation where he'll allow somebody to not take care of his kids, but maybe not remarrying is a good idea when you think about it like that. So, and as far as Kayla struggling, I don't think Kayla is struggling, and I don't feel like Kayla has ever really been struggling in the way that regular kids do. But I do understand Todd wanting her to have a more realistic foundation, because if anything does happen, Kayla will be able to get it out the mud no matter what. Okay, Kayla will be able to take care of herself because she's been conditioned to do so, versus Riley, who's been taken care of her entire life, who may be book smart, but may not have the same street sense, that may not have the same common sense and interpersonal skills that Kayla was able to get from just having to be out amongst everybody and deal with all of these different types of personalities and navigate social environments, right? A lot of coddled children have issues in social interactions, okay? And how to handle people and how to spot when people are on bullshit and all of that, okay? But hell, the way Riley has been raised by Mama Joyce, I feel like she gonna always have her eyebrow up, okay? Suspecting everybody coming around, okay? I think the kids will be fine, honestly. And I think that secretly Candy throws Kayla money whenever she needs it, and probably just, every now and again, throws a few, look, here a little $5,000 or something like that. Don't tell your daddy I gave it to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure Candy does things like that, and they just don't tell Todd about it, because I think a part of me feels like Candy doesn't want Kayla to feel the difference either. And so she'll probably offset it in some way that, yeah, you're not going to have the same childhood or, access that Riley may have, but you still have access to me. So if you can't ask your daddy for it, you can call me. Okay. So I feel like either way, Kayla is still set up in a way that most young women who don't have rich parents aren't. Okay. So Drew and Ralph. Ralph apologizes for not showing how much he loves Drew on the show. I don't believe any of what goes on between Ralph and Drew. And the way men are socialized, it makes me feel like he is probably more of an asshole than he wants us to believe. I feel like they want us to think that the things they do on the show are fake and that he's really not that bad. And I think he really is that bad. I'm sorry, y'all. I would love to believe that Ralph is this great guy and they're just acting for us. But something about Drew's personality feels like the type of personality that is easily controlled and manipulated. And when I say that, it's easy to make her feel bad. It's easy to make her feel guilty. It's easy to, make her feel insecure and throw her off her footing. It's easy to do that to Drew. And so because of the way she shows up, it makes me feel like it's probably closer to the truth than not that Ralph is the asshole he shows himself to be. Because sometimes the things that he says to her, I feel like, I know y'all want us to think y'all are acting, but I don't think any self-respecting man would purposefully showcase that type of disrespect of a woman he really truly loved. A man that truly loves and respects his woman would never want to pretend to hurt her in front of people, because he recognizes that whenever he disrespects her in public or in front of people, whatever he did to her can then be used against her by other people, because people love to use husbands and spouses, especially, husbands, to value or devalue women. So if anybody wants to come at Drew the way Sheree has done, you're going to point out that your husband disrespects you. Like, oh, you coming for me. You need to be talking to your fucking husband that's always out here disrespecting you publicly. That's why a man that really loves and respects his wife would never play this role. Because essentially it can still harm her in real life. And because Drew, whether strong or not, whether used to this or not, is still a person, a human being. And to me shows that she can be emotionally moved. Y'all see, she went and upgraded her style, and all of the women do that, but they only do that once all of those jokes get hurtful. Once the jokes about your looks and your hair and your weave and your body get hurtful, and then all of a sudden you coming back with new hair, new body, new clothes. It's to be expected, but it absolutely shows that your emotions can be fucked with because of what happens on this show. So that tells me that your emotions can be fucked with as it pertains to your relationship with your husband. So I know they want us to think they're acting, but no. I think Ralph is just as disrespectful as he pretends to be. And I don't believe any of his attempts to make himself seem like he's not that bad of a guy. Because there's a part of this that feels like if you can go that far, it's because you're really that fucked up. So let's see. Drew felt a way about Kandi and Kenya joking about Drop It with Drew. And Kandi was like, listen, I like you, Drew. I was not trying to hurt you. But at the end of the day, you did not explain Drop It with Drew the way it actually was. Okay? You weren't saying that you were just the face of somebody else's business. You was acting like you built it from the ground up. And that is not the case. Okay? That's not the case. Drew, this is what we're talking about when we say you lying. You perpetrate. You're disingenuous. This is what we're talking about. Because you could have straight up said you was the face of them people company. And then when they ask you, well, I didn't feel like I had to give out a full layout. Please save the Ralphisms for your arguments with him. Because somebody clocked the way you argue with the women is the way Ralph argues with you. You take things out of context. You conflate. And whenever somebody gives you a direct criticism, you find a way to act as if it's so confusing. Like what? For instance, the shit with Sonya, telling Sonya that she needs to have the baby and make her husband happy if that's what he wants. And they basically come at you like, as a woman in 2022, how can you tell this other grown ass woman that she has to have a baby just because her husband wants her to? And what did she say? Well, I mean, you are the only one that can have the baby. The man can't have the baby. Duh, bitch. Duh, Drew. That's what I'm talking about. Stupid shit. We know that. That's not the point. The point is you should not say things like that to women when you want them to have full control and, power over their own bodies. It should not be said to them like it's their duty to put their life in danger for a baby they may not want so that they can make a nigga happy who's not going to be there to help raise that baby as much as she's going to be there to help raise that baby. So yeah, Drew, save the Ralphisms for him. Okay? Thank you. All right. Drew felt the way about Sheree calling her a busted can of biscuits. Sheree has to now retract. Drew said she lost between 15 and 20 pounds. It sounded like she said she lost between 50 and 20 pounds with your lying ass. It sounded like you said 50. Sheree says she doesn't look like a busted can of biscuits. Ralph was upset at Sheree for her comment in the confessional, especially about him being gay. He has to remind her. She said he had a dildo, so she didn't apologize for that. Sheree will lie until she doesn't have a choice but to keep it a buck. She's exhausting. Sheree keeps blaming the assistant for everything as it pertains to Ralph. Well, he's the one that said it. He's the one that said it. I didn't say anything. Sheree, you're full of shit. Everybody knows that you basically brought your friend on this show to spray that tea because you were already talking about, oh, you're Drew and Ralph. Oh, like you were already on that vibe when you first got introduced to them fucking people. So cut it out. Okay? Ralph says, I respected you, Sheree. I just want you to respect me. Drew says it's weirdo behavior. Sheree, you're so weird. You know, and Sheree was like, you're weird. I'm like, Sheree, can you please up the ante? You argue like a teenager. Ralph, what would you change about the dinner with Drew? He says he would have looked at her heart and provided what she needed versus something that she didn't really need at the time. Oh, you mean to tell me that you would have thought about her when you decided to do something for her? And that's how you know the gift was a manipulation tool. And I told y'all that at the time. Whenever women sit down and drink and have intimate dinners, they want to talk, nigga. Do you really think she gonna sit at the table with shit on her heart, drinking and having a good time with you and not express her feelings to you? It's very hard to do. Whenever I sit down and start drinking, all my feelings come out. Okay, me and this nigga go to dinner and all of a sudden I'm real emotional, okay? So I feel like the fact that she don't even have space to do that proves that she's not really safe in y'all relationship. But I'm gonna let y'all perpetrate because that's what y'all gonna do. Shout out to Jamie. Where else? Someone said that Drew ruins everything because she's always, you know, her little passive aggressive attitude ruins everything. I said that was very cute. Y'all like putting all the blame on Drew. Drew says that they have very high highs and low lows. Your relationship is a mental disorder? What is going on? Ralph realizes he was wrong for the way he speaks to Drew at times. And they asked Ross how he feels about it. And Ross was like, yeah, he speaks to her wrong at times, just like he said. Drew answers a question for Ralph about the way he treats Josiah differently because he's not the biological child. Y'all remember what I told y'all about the Ralphism, right? Drew. Well, yeah, of course he's not going to treat him like he's a biological child. You know, you can't do that because, you know, physically it's not biological. That's a lie. That's a lie, Drew. I know that's something that you need to tell yourself so you can feel good about this situation. But as somebody that is absolutely seen people raise children that are not biologically theirs and create no differentiation between the two. Hi. Grandfather did it. Grandfather did it. Aunt did it. Cousin did it. Child, who else? There are people. But just in my family alone, I could think of at least 3 generations of my family. When my grandmother and my grandfather first got together, my grandmother was divorcing her first husband. She had already 5 children with him, some of which were grown. One was a baby, barely 2 years old. My aunt grew up believing that my grandfather was her daddy too. It's the only daddy she knew. All of my aunt's grandchildren, all of her children, my cousins, were raised that my grandfather is their grandfather. There is no difference. There was no difference between the way my aunt was raised and the way all of the biological, the 3 additional biological children that came after her. Yeah, there was no difference in the way they were treated, at least as far as I can tell. At this point in our lives, growing up with everybody, not even knowing that some people weren't biological. My aunt raised her husband's outside baby as her own. We didn't even know until we were fucking grown that he wasn't biologically my aunt's. All of the grandchildren, those are her grandkids. Like, okay? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so honestly, that's not true at all. It's not true. And I hate that people do that. I hate that people perpetuate the idea that it is okay and that nothing is wrong with a person that says shit like, I don't want to raise somebody else's kids. It's terrible. You're terrible. Don't nobody want to admit it. But to me, you don't love the kids you have if you only love them because they belong to you. It's not really love. Okay? So, Drew, the way you try to Ralphism that answer, which one answering for him, and 2 trying to make it seem like it's an oversimplified situation of simple biology is the reason why Ralph treats the children differently. Bullshit. It's because the children are only loved because they're an extension of him, not because he actually wants to nurture, love these little people to become, you know, whatever version of themselves they're going to become, they're going to become when they become adults. That's what people tell y'all. But really it's because they want to see little versions of themselves all over the place. They want to see that their sperm has worked. It's not really about loving the kid or supporting the kid. It's not really what it's about. For me, for some of y'all, your children are really only a reflection of you. My grandma and stepmom, I didn't know until I was older that my other great grandma was her mama because her stepmom treated her like her own. It couldn't be me. I'll be damned if you treat my son like the redheaded stepchild. He's not meant to be a parent. And that's how I feel about a lot of men. A lot of y'all perpetrate like y'all can be parents, like y'all are good fathers, but essentially there's an emotional disconnect. There is a nurturing part of this that all fathers should have. All fathers should have a form of nurturing about them. And if you don't have that, it's probably because you shouldn't be somebody's fucking daddy. Like, just because your dick works doesn't mean you should have children. You know what I'm saying? Just like because women can bear children doesn't mean they should be mothers. Ralph can't really answer why he didn't tell Drew about the book. He can't even tell you what he said in the book. It's a money grab. It's a way to use the platform to make money and to pull on people's heartstrings, especially the women that might have, a stepdaddy situation in their household. And, they're looking at Drew and Ralph and thinking that Drew is a sexy man. So they want to support him because we love sexy black men taking care of their children. It's so sexy. So we want to take care and we want to make sure we support them in that. So we want to go buy their book. That's how these niggas think about it. He knows that y'all want to fuck him. So he's going to play on y'all emotions so he can get a money grab from the show. That's what he's going to do. Ralph says, not the way these numbers is dropping. Oh, all right. Let me hurry up and get off of here since y'all dropping like this. I just lost like 200 and something people. All right. Ralph says the guys are going on a tour together. Candy said, what? Candy said, well, Ty says, yeah, he's daycare daddy. Candy said what? Ty says, yeah, he's daddy daycare. Ross is a mentor. They're going to go on a tour with him in this book. Yeah, all right, cool. Can't wait to see it. Marlo and Candy. Yeah, y'all, my numbers are dropping. That's crazy. All right. So since my numbers are dropping, I literally went from 1,000 to under 800 in, I feel like, less than 5 minutes. So let's take a break. Let's like the video. Thank you. I'm praying for y'all in Florida. I am. Y'all say it lagged for a minute. That's why. Okay. Child, I don't know, but look, it's still dropping. It's still dropping. That's crazy. Anyway, their lunch break is over. Oh, it's too funny. All right. Well, I'm going to hurry. The video froze on my end for like 30 seconds. I came back in. Okay. It's going back up now. So yeah, it must have been a lag. It's back up. Okay. All right. It's going back up. Yeah, I see it. I see it. That was weird. All right. I'm about to be finished with this anyway. And then I'm going to come back for Ratchet Reality after I take my dog outside. Okay. So Candy and Marlo. Candy can't live up to being Michelle Obama. Okay. You go low, I'm going to hell. I told y'all that. I am not Michelle Obama. Okay. Marlo said Candy didn't do anything for her community. And so someone asked, what does Marlo do? Marlo says, listen, I was absolutely wrong for that. Okay. I'm so sorry. We know that Candy does a damn lot for her community. Y'all, everything that Marlo says sounds like bullshit to me. I'm sorry. Like even the tone in which she speaks, it seems like fake genuineness. Like it's fake, fake care, fake concern. It's not real. Sheree, do you think you are the friend you want Candy to be to you? She says, no, not right now, but it's Candy's fault. She started it when she was saying shit about Tyrone and all of that. And Candy was like, girl, you have never defended me. Even when Kim was telling you that I wanted to eat her box. And I was like, Y'all really like, let me tell you something. Candy, I hope that's a lie. Please tell me that's a lie from the pits of hell. Cause like, why? So you can taste the cigarette ash? Yeah, lick her box so you can lick the cigarette ash off her coochie. Thank you. Everyone is below Candy's tax bracket except for Andy. Marlo, Andy doesn't need you to speak up on his behalf, but it's cute that you think that white man needs you to be his sound box. Like, please chill out. Please chill out. The thirstiness to be under Andy is just disgusting. Like, can you please take your tongue out that man's ass for 5 seconds? Marlo shouldn't have brought Todd into her argument with Candy. Marlo asked Todd who she paid to be on Housewives, and he explains that in her thirstier days, she paid to go on that trip to Africa. And Andy was like, yeah, you did. You paid. Yeah, you did. You paid for your plane ticket. You paid for your hotel. Yeah, you paid for it. You sure did. You sure did. No, I haven't seen Don Juan's review yet. I need to watch it, though. Marlo believes that she can get into fashion houses that Candy cannot. And Kenya was like, girl, what are you talking about? Candy, when Candy goes to Chanel, when Candy goes to Louis Vuitton, when Candy goes to Gucci, they're bringing her in the back. They're bringing her in the showroom so she can sip her champagne and lay down and have people bring things to her. Like, what are you talking about? Candy's worth $30 million based off Google. Okay? $30 million. Marlo is worth, I want to say, what? Maybe 5 mil, something like that. I know she just got her archive deal with Netflix, and that's definitely going up the ante for her. Congratulations, girl. But yeah, calm down. I don't think that do you really think that you're more high profile in fashion and you can get into doors that Candy can't get into? Do you really think that? Thank you, Chastity, for the super chat. I don't know, y'all. Like, I feel like I get it. That Marlo is definitely into the fashions in a way that Candy is not. Like, Candy may not be considered the fashion girl. This is absolutely true. But it doesn't mean that Candy isn't walking around draped in designer every day. And just because it's rich designer, which means it's not full of labels every time I wear something. Rich people like dress like, like they're not rich. I don't know if y'all noticed that. The only time I feel like Candy is ever really doing extra is when she knows she's about to be on camera. Outside of that, Candy probably be in her house regular as fuck, and it should still be more expensive than anything most of us have on. So it's kind of like, Marlo, we get it, but you're still not Lil' Kim, hun. You're still not Lil' Kim, okay? No. So Candy and Marlo made up over that KFC chicken. That KFC chicken was good, y'all. It was much better than I thought. Marlo promises Candy will see changed actions. None of us believe it. Ross says, remember, don't fuck with my wife. It's all laughing and jokes. Everyone says their goodbyes. Marlo says she's going to think before she speaks moving forward. Kenya was hella resilient and had great hair and great teeth and great skin. Candy said, bitch, I'm worldwide and I'm owning it. I know that's right. Sheree says it was a sisterhood and she appreciates them supporting her. Kenya says the designs are incredible. It's a lie, Kenya. The designs are not incredible. You're being a better friend to Sheree than she is to you. And then we heard that after she brought out her She by Sheree for everybody, she then asked for all of it back. I'm sure except for Andy. Andy was probably allowed to keep whatever she buy, she don't. She buy, she ain't. Shit that he was able to procure. Let me see. Where's Drew? I'm going to pull it up right now. Did I save it? I may not have saved it because sometimes it'd be like, I do not care that much. Hold up. Child, not y'all got Soulja Boy screaming at his cell phone again. Ooh. Okay, can I tell y'all, as much as I really like Sonya on Sonya's show. And I also like Sonya, her Instagram. I've been following Sonya for years, y'all. Sonya's Instagram has gotten thirstier and thirstier, y'all. Like, I hate to say it, but when I saw her with Cynthia today, I was just kind of like, girl, it's given. I'm trying so hard to fit in. I want to make sure I'm fitting in with everybody. Didn't Marlo get Mad Candy sent her gently used designer clothes. Where did this idea that Candy don't do fashions come from? Thank you for the super shine. I don't know, Maxwell. I don't know. Yeah, no, that's what I was talking about. That's why I was saying that he was screaming into his phone. Hold up, y'all. First of all, legs and hips and body. Y'all gonna stop playing with Candy. Y'all gonna stop playing with Candy. That bitch body look good. Y'all gonna stop playing with Miss Candy, okay? Y'all gonna stop playing with my girl. I'm trying to keep it cute, y'all. Y'all don't know how I try not to sexually harass people ever since they told me I sexually harassed somebody at the school the one time. I didn't, I'm just, that was a form of abuse as far as I'm concerned. Where is it? Here we go. Is this it? No, this ain't it. I'm mad because I just looked at the clip and now I can't find it. It don't make sense, girl. It was Dish Nation. I know it was. It was Dish Nation. Ugh. I hate when I just saw something and then it disappear. Oh my God. Hold up. Where is Real Housewives? Give me a second. I'm gonna try to find this. If I can't find it, fuck it. We already know what she said. She said Sheree ain't had no fashions for real, and they had to give all the fashions back. Okay, they had to give the fashions back, is what they said. Okay, girl, this so trash. Let me go see if I can look at my like stuff. Okay, maybe that'll help. But anyway, y'all about to get out of here anyway, and I'm gonna come back for I'm gonna come back for Ratchet Reality, girl, because when I tell y'all the fact that they bringing Black Ink Crew New York back, I'm like, but for what? I'm like, but for what? So we can do what exactly? Oh my God. All right, y'all, I give up. I thought I had it. But yeah, Drew just basically said, the tea of it all is that Sheree had them came out there with that little rack and then they slid the rack back. They slid the rack right back. Okay, is what they said. And that doesn't surprise me. Has anybody ordered anything from She by Sheree? Who was edited out? Well, her taking the stuff, it was after they wrap. It was at the end. Drew is very pretty. That is so tacky. It is tacky, but we know Sheree is tacky. Andy loved Portia, so that's not far-fetched. What, for them to give her $5 million to cover the wedding? Oh, Bravo took out the heated argument also on Speak On It with Candy. Candy said they got into it like they was about to fight twice and it never aired. Yeah, I feel like they didn't show us the flipping the hair part. They didn't show us that part, right? I thought I was tripping. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Sheree can't see my number. I was hoping it's a lie. I don't think Bravo will offer her more than 500,000. I'm about to say that sounds like a lot of money, but some shit we may not care about. But anyway, I'll come back to y'all. I'm gonna set the time probably for give me 30 minutes because I need to take my dog outside. So I'm gonna set the recording. It was already for like 2. I'm gonna set it for 2:45. Yeah, 2:45. And I'll be right back for Racial Reality, and we can talk about Safari hitting himself in the head with that chug girl. That shit was hilarious. I love you guys. Okay, I hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll be back in a few.